If you're a gamer who plays both mobile and console games, you will notice that there are a lot of mobile ports that are coming out specifically on the PS Vita as of late. A lot of popular mobile games have come to this platform, including Angry Birds Star Wars, Plants vs. Zombies, Run Like Hell, and Pocket RPG, and more are on the way. A specific type of mobile game that gets ported to consoles, especially the Vita lately, is the type that Angry Birds laid in motion. Games that have short stages, that have a little bit of strategy to them and encourage you to beat the game in as few moves as possible to be able to gain a high score as well as power-ups. Today I bring you a review for a game that is much like that. Having just released last week, here is my official review of the game from 10 Ton Games, Tennis in the Face. The story of Tennis in the Face revolves around a tennis world champion named Pete Pegassi. After he becomes addicted to an energy drink called Explodes, he ends up ruining his career. After he becomes a preschool tennis coach and ends up infiltrating one of the warehouses for Explodes and arrested, Pete Pegassi goes through rehab and vows vengeance upon the Explodes company for ruining his career. The story isn't going to be something that you're shown a lot of. Each time you go to a new area, you will see a newspaper headline discussing various effects of Explodes, as well as introducing new enemy types. All in all, though, the very funny story is going to be very minimal compared to the gameplay. Tennis in the Face is an arcade-style physics-based game where you are going from stage to stage across a city map, launching projectiles and repelling them off of walls and other structures to defeat as many enemies as possible in as few moves as possible. When you go into the game, there will only be one game mode for you to go in, which is Campaign, and when you go into the campaign, you will be placed on a city map where you'll need to progress through various stages in each district in order to unlock the next district, and so on and so forth until you get through all 8 districts so you can infiltrate and take down an Explodes warehouse facility. When you play through each stage, you and the enemies will be set up in a 2D environment, and you will be given a specific set of ammunition in the form of tennis balls and energy can drinks. Now, the tennis balls are different from the energy cans because the tennis balls can be served in very precise straight motions, whereas the energy drink cans have arcs to them as if you are throwing a grenade. They also explode upon contact to the ground, so they can be set up in very different ways. Your ultimate goal will be to defeat all of the enemies before running out of ammunition, but you can gain higher scores and get more points if you defeat all the enemies in less moves. One thing you'll need to know is that there is a certain amount of luck featured in some of the stages. You can go into a stage and launch a tennis ball at a specific angle and knock out an enemy standing on a structure, and they'll land on the structure they're standing on. However, you could retry the stage, launch a tennis ball at the exact same angle, and knock them, and they'll fall to defeat the enemies below them. While most of the stages depend on the strategy and angles, a few of them will depend on various points of luck. All in all, Tennis in the Face is not a very long game, which you could probably guess from the low price tag. The game has more than 100 stages to go through across the 8 districts, but each stage will probably only take you a couple minutes to do, depending on how easy or hard the game is for you. In one sitting, you could probably beat the game in a few hours, but the game is really more suited for quick play sessions. As far as the visual presentation is concerned, Tennis in the Face looks very well done. The 2D visuals have translated over to the Vita and the PlayStation TV very well. As you look through the game and play through the game, you're not going to be able to find any imperfections in the character models or the effects. The game also plays very well when you're in stages, so you don't have to worry about a lot of lag or slowdown as you're trying to set up your shots. One thing I will mention is about the interface and about lag in the city map. When you're going through the city map, there are 2 different control schemes, one for touch-based and one for buttons. Sometimes when you're using the D-pad to move around the stages, you will see a little bit of lag and a little bit of slowdown. It's not very often you see this, and it doesn't happen in the stages, but it does happen every once in a while when you're going across the city map. The other thing to mention is in the interface. In the PlayStation 4 version of this game, there were little notifications on the bottom of the screen when you're in stages to show you how to play the game, specifically using triangle to restart the stage or pressing the X button to serve a shot. This is not in the Vita version of the game, and while some of the controls are explained, the retry section is not explained, as well as a few other control situations. They're not huge hindrances on the game, but they are something that proved to be a bit of an annoyance, especially if you're not very good at experimenting around with buttons. Tennis in the Face is a small arcade-style game that plays well on both the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation TV. On the downside, there are some hiccups with the button controls on the city map. Some of the controls are not explained to you as they are in the other versions of the game, and the game doesn't last you very long. Outside of that, however, is an affordable game that is very good for quick play sessions. PlayStation Vita Reviews rates Tennis in the Face a 7 out of 10, and if you'd like to discuss this further, feel free to comment below or head to our forum to have a more in-depth discussion. Thank you, have a great day.